Hey trans youth channelers, it's me Teja and I'm here to do another video. I just want to apologize for last week. Obviously I was having some technical difficulties, so I really do hope this works. As you may be able to tell, I am making this video early because I had troubles last week and I wanted to make sure I A, got this up on time, and B, didn't have any issues before my day actually came. So, and then I ended up being busy, so I didn't really have time to go and correct it. So I will answer last week's topic this week, as well as answer this week's topic. So I do apologize for that. Sorry for all the confusion. Next week I should be back to my regular time. Basically, last week's topic was, has being transgendered made your life more difficult in any way, shape, or form? And my answer to that is no. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I mean, yes, there are, some issues at first with bathroom situations or locker situations or whatever have you, changing rooms, whatever it is that you may have for work or whatnot. But I mean, for me, it was never an issue. And So it was quite natural for me to just go with it. But I'm sure for other people that it might have been an issue. But I mean, I've never again had an issue because I was trans. I will say that the things that I do associate with being trans and making my life a little bit more difficult is just pure vanity, such as instead of waking up an hour before work, rolling out of bed, throwing together my lunch, and walking out the door, I now spend I have to be up 4 hours in advance so I can make sure I get ready and I make a proper lunch and whatever. So, I will say in that respect it has been a little bit of an adjustment, but that is just because I don't want to present myself as any other way than how I feel comfortable seeing myself, and that involves me picking out the right outfit and putting on makeup, but that has more to do with the fact that I enjoy that process, so it's not really a negative thing. But I mean, to each their own. But moving on to this week's topic, it's just kind of a stress relief kind of topic for the week, and that is, what are some examples of things that happen in everyday life that have nothing to do with the fact that you're trans? And I really can't come up with anything really concrete. I can't come up with anything concrete, to be fair. I I mean, well, I mean, I don't know. It's really hard to think of it because really nothing is caused because I'm trans, and I just don't. And I mean, I was late for work on Monday, no, Tuesday, yesterday. That had nothing to do with being trans. It was because the bus actually broke down. Um, and hmm, hmm. Well, here's something interesting. I moved to a new town. I moved to a small village outside of the city, just so I can save some money and whatever. Totally life related and not trans related. But I had to register myself with a new GP, And when I did so, I filled out the forms appropriately, ticked off the female box, and wrote in the little comment section below that I was trans and whatever. And so I go and hand in my form, and they're like, okay, thank you, we'll give you a call. So they asked me to come in, and this is like after that appointment. And so I go in, and they're like, okay, Teja, we need to register you a new medical number. And I'm like, okay, is it because I live in a new city? And they're like, no, because if you lived in a new city, it would be absolutely fine. But seeing as you're a woman, we want to change all of your records to female. And I'm like, huh? And it has nothing really to do with being trans. It's just the fact that I'm a woman, and they just wanted to register me as a woman. I thought it was kind of cool. I mean, my life is so unexciting. I don't have exciting stories like that, like Sam does, to tell you. I go to work, I come home, I eat, I sleep. Um, but I'm kind of in a place in my life at the moment where a lot of the things that I do is because I'm trans, minus going to work. And it's really funny because I had an epiphany today at work that the people, like, because I'm quite open, I'm stealth for the most part. Like, I only tell people on a need to know basis, but I'm not ashamed to talk about it, and everybody at work knows. Um, if you watch, oh, you would never mind. Anyway, I decided to go stealth when I took this job, but I had to tell my manager because my passport identification says male. So I started working there in stealth, but I had to tell my manager. But anyway, she leaked the information. Long story, but I was okay with it, so it was whatever. So long story short, everybody found out. So I started telling everybody, and I'm quite open about it. I'm not ashamed about it in any way, shape, or form. But I had a discussion today with a couple people at work about, having a child because I'm having a child soon, and they were like, I don't understand how that works. And it dawned on me that the people around me at my work actually forget that I'm trans. Uh, yeah, so that was quite new. And sometimes I forget that people don't always know that I'm trans as well. I just assume people know, and I just move about my day. But a lot of people don't know, and it's kind of weird to, yeah. But I'm sorry I couldn't be more helpful this week. I just don't really have anything in my life that I can contribute to that. Really don't. My life isn't like that, and everything in my life right now does have to do with the fact that I'm trans. Other than the fact that I go to work, and that has nothing to do with that I'm trans. I still have to go through the same shit that everybody else does, and that's just that. But as my story just told you, people forget I'm trans at work. So I just get treated like everybody else. Yeah. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there because I'm at 9 minutes and I've pretty much talked about nothing. So until next week, I'll see you later. Stay safe, love and respect yourself, and I'll see you soon.